This is a question from Alex. What if tsunamis hit every coastline at once?
Tsunamis are massive waves triggered by underwater earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or landslides. They already cause devastating destruction in isolated regions, but imagine every coastline on Earth being hit simultaneously.
First, let's consider the immediate impact. Hundreds of millions of people living near coasts would be in instant danger. Cities like New York, Tokyo, Rio de Janeiro, Mumbai, and Sydney could be completely submerged within minutes. Entire neighborhoods would be swept away, and emergency services would be overwhelmed or completely incapacitated. The scale of destruction would be unlike anything humans have experienced. Port infrastructure, airports, and bridges along coastlines would vanish.
Ships at sea could be thrown hundreds of kilometers inland or smashed against cliffs. Power plants and fuel storage near the coast would be destroyed, creating additional hazards like fires, explosions, and chemical spills.
The death toll would be staggering. Even if early warning systems worked perfectly, evacuating hundreds of millions of people simultaneously would be impossible.
Millions could die within the first hours. And that's just the human impact. Wildlife along coastal regions would face immediate extinction.
But the effects wouldn't stop there. Tsunamis carry enormous amounts of sediment, debris, and saltwater far inland.
Farms and freshwater sources would be contaminated, leaving survivors without food or clean water. The waves would reshape coastlines, washing away fertile soil and altering rivers and estuaries.
The global economy would collapse almost instantly. Major ports handle the majority of global trade. If they were destroyed simultaneously, supply chains for food, medicine, and raw materials would break down. Financial markets would panic, and many industries, from shipping to energy, would grind to a halt.
Communications and infrastructure would be devastated. Undersea cables, power grids, and satellites might survive partially, but local networks would be down. Relief and rescue operations would be delayed or impossible in many areas.
Tsunamis also trigger secondary disasters. Flooded areas would face landslides, dam failures, and nuclear plant accidents. The combination of saltwater intrusion and debris could poison soils for decades, making recovery even harder. Even regions far from the coast would feel the effects. Migratory storms, altered ocean currents, and climate feedback loops could result from the sudden movement of so much water. Extreme weather patterns could emerge, exacerbating the already catastrophic situation.
Rebuilding would take generations. Entire cities and infrastructure would need to be relocated or reconstructed.
Coastal ecosystems, mangroves, coral reefs, and wetlands would be destroyed, impacting biodiversity for centuries. Human civilization would face one of the most complex recovery challenges in history.
In short, if tsunamis hit every coastline at once, the planet would experience immediate and long-term devastation. Millions of lives lost, ecosystems destroyed, economies shattered, and entire cultures displaced. It's a terrifying thought experiment, but it also shows how interconnected humans and the oceans really are.
The lesson is clear. Understanding, monitoring, and preparing for tsunamis is not optional. Even a single tsunami is deadly enough. Imagine the stakes if they all came at once.